What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad Sean, and today at Reactions to the Classics, we got one that I know a lot of our people have been asking about this group.
Yes, they have.
Chicago, and their top 10 songs, according to our patron and longtime supporter, Rich. So, looking forward to this one. Rich has given us many top 10 lists,
I'll tell you,
and they've been awesome.
Yeah, he has, and there's a lot of people in our community that know a lot about music, but there's an elite few that just know, like, are an encyclopedia, and Rich is one of them. So I always enjoy looking at these lists. I always get educated.
Oh, definitely, man. So we've got a top 10 list here according to Rich's enjoyment of the tunes. And so before we get into that, though, if you like this video, y'all be sure to give us a thumbs up. That helps us out, as well as hit that big red subscribe button. We upload every single day in a wide array of genres. And if you want to connect with us in our communities, you can check that down below. We got a great Facebook group.
Yes, we do.
Instagram page, Discord, and then if you want to maybe do a top 10 list yourself and have us react to it, you can check out our Patreon link down below, and we can hook you up there. We are not going to include the music in the YouTube video, just copyright hassles when you add this many songs can add up for you, but there will be a link in the description to another site where you can view the full video with the music included, and hook you guys up there. But all that to say, man, let's get into the quick facts before jumping into the top 10. I don't know much of Chicago. I think I know one song on this list. What about you, Tanny?
You know, I was born in 71, so I know the, early to mid 80s stuff where they turned way more ballad, and that sort of stuff, but I don't know, the horn stuff. I've heard a couple of these songs, but, they were before my time. But I always like, Rich always includes a little bit of what he thought. So Rich said about this: great band with a very distinct sound. Chicago Transit Authority was the first non-Beatles album I ever had as a kid. I already know that I'm going to get some criticism for not including, I won't tell you what it is, so you believe the drama, but I have to go with my gut. Hope you appreciate this fantastic group of musicians. So I know that was a little disjointed, but as I started reading what I had put there, or what he said, I'm like, I can't tell you that. We have to leave a little bit of drama, but Billboard ranked him 15 in the top 100 artists of all time for Hot 100 singles chart success, which really surprised me. I think that 80s stuff really helped. Billboard also ranked them number 9 in terms of greatest artists of all time in terms of the Billboard 200 album chart. Wow. They sold over 100 million records. So,
dang, I didn't know that they were that big on the charts.
No, I did not either. 23 gold, 18 platinum, 8 multi-platinum albums, 5 number 1 albums, 20 top 10 singles. In 74, the group had 7 albums, its entire catalog at the time, on the Billboard Top 200 simultaneously. 10 Grammy nominations. They only won 1 Grammy for If You Leave Me Now, which I'm pretty sure was maybe 82. I think it's on Chicago 16. I actually know that song. Inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016, which seems a bit late.
I was about to say, just based on their sales alone, you would think they should have been in way before. But hey, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has some blemishes.
Yeah, they do have some issues. And then finally in 2017, Peter Cetera, Robert Lamb, and James Pankow were elected to the Songwriters Hall of Fame for their songwriting efforts as members of the group. So that is quite the feather in your cap. Trey, we're going to start off at number 10 with Old Days off Chicago 8 from 1975. So one nice thing about Chicago is they didn't mess around with what we're going to name the album. So you kind of know exactly sequentially where it falls. It's Chicago 8, 1975.
Hey, like movies, hey, I like Star Wars Episode 4.
Or I like Rocky 2 or 3, So tell us a little bit about this song.
All right, so this one was written by James Pankow. He was the trombonist, and this had lead vocals by Peter Cetera. Second single reached number 5 in the U.S., so again, talking about their chart success. Pankow has said that the song is a nostalgic piece about his childhood. Quote, it touches on key phrases that, although they date me, are pretty right on in terms of images of my childhood. The Howdy Doody show on television and collecting baseball cards and comic books. So he also said that the group stopped performing the song live because Cetera refused to sing it, calling the lyrics, quote, corny.
Going in on Peter there, taking a little shot at Peter.
All right, well, as always, y'all, we're going to have the lyrics pulled up, really save the meat of our reaction to the end so we can just enjoy the tune. And let's get this started. Thanks again, Rich. Starting the list off strong with Old Days from Chicago 8. So, I like that we read at the start just kind of what the tune was about.
Yeah, because it pretty much follows that,
It definitely, and I mean, it really does harken back to that childhood, just that nostalgic time. You can really visualize it in your head, and, I think a lot of us sometimes long to take me back to a world gone away, memories that seem like yesterday.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Yeah, that's a great line.
What'd you think of it?
Oh yeah, enjoyed it, man. I thought the lyrics were straightforward, which is nice sometimes, not to have to try to interpret what the heck somebody meant. Obviously, great instrumentation and horns, and the thing with Peter Cetera is his voice is like a comfort to me.
Yeah.
I used to really like his stuff in the '80s. I know a lot of Chicago fans don't because they're used to this stuff, which I can get, but yeah, I just hearing Peter rock this thing. So good way to start this list.
Oh, definitely. And the outro especially, I enjoyed quite a bit. The trombone gave a very unique type of vibe. And
well, he
sound.
wrote the song, man. He had to give himself something on the way out. Right?
You know it, man. And that I see that's the closer of that record. So works pretty well. Now we're going to go to number 9. With Saturday in the Park, we're going to take it back a few records to Chicago 5 from 1972. Written and sung by Robert Lamb, we have Cetera on the chorus. Number 3 in the U.S., the band's highest charting single at the time, helping lift the record Chicago 5 to number 1.
Wow. Lamb said it was written as I was looking at footage from a film I shot in Central Park over a couple of years back in the early 70s. I shot this film, and somewhere down the line I edited it into some kind of a narrative. And as I watched the film, I just jotted down some ideas based on what I was seeing and had experienced. And it was really kind of that peace and love thing that happened in Central Park and in many parks all over the world. Perhaps on a Saturday where people just relax and enjoy each other's presence and the activities we observe and the feelings we get from feeling a part of a day like that. So it's cool because Pankow wrote the first one and Cetera sung it.
Yes, that's
now
right.
Now you got Lamb writing this one and singing it with Cetera.
Yeah.
So it shows you the versatility already in 2 songs. So
all right, well, let's see what we got here. Did you recognize it as it was going? Okay.
I did. I mean, I don't know it greatly, but I've heard it, a few times for sure.
Got a pretty memorable melody.
It does, yeah. It clicks with you right away. I think... just a nice song. I mean, it is what we said at the start. I mean, it kind of sets the atmosphere.
Yeah.
If you're going to sing about Saturday in the Park, it has to have a certain melody, as you said, and just instrumental atmosphere. And I thought it had this kind of a carefree,
carefree,
really well done song. I actually prefer the first song more, but also this one's well done.
Well, and I like it too. The lyrics are a bit straightforward. So, I appreciate me, as I know Rich does, a good singer-songwriter, but sometimes you just want something you can easily just vibe to.
2 in a row that way. Yeah, you know what they're talking about, and it paints a picture.
Yeah, and follow with, and man, if you watch the channel for any length of time, I love the horns
section. I was
section.
I knew you were going to love this one.
So I think, I know that's one of Chicago's trademarks here, and I'm really digging what they're putting down here and mixing it with the keys a little bit. I found it interesting too, as we had a different lead vocal. Robert Lamb brought a little different, to the table than Old Days did, and shifted the tempo a little bit too in the bridge, like Slow Motion Riders Fly the Colors of the Day. It kind of got slow there. I thought that was a unique little touch, talking about the man playing and the guitar singing for us. Will you help him change the world? Can you dig it? Then yes, I can. The cool, Cetera coming in, I believe, in the back. So nice stuff here. Now we're going to song number 8, Feeling Stronger Every Day, from the next record, Chicago 6 from 73, written by Cetera and Pankow. The lead single went to number 10 in the U.S., and a band member said Peter wrote that song about his marriage falling apart. He'd gone through a real hard time and was starting to feel stronger again. Pankow also noted that this track was about a relationship, but yet underlying that relationship, it's almost like the band is feeling stronger than ever.
I might know this song too, but wow, really personally written lyrics.
Yeah, feeling stronger every day, coming in at number 8, and again, the kind of what we said in the intro of it really reflected the lyrics of a relationship, kind of going in their separate ways here a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was more, too, on this one, not necessarily the lyrics. There's not a lot to the lyrics. I mean, you understand what they're about, but it's more to set the ambiance of that, kind of almost like an anthem of feeling stronger every day with the strong instrumentation on it.
And I don't know, maybe it has to do with the horn section and just kind of the uproaring nature to it. There, you just kind of feel a lot of positivity from Chicago,
I agree.
even if, some of these lyrics are, reflecting a sad situation, in the sense saying, I know we really tried together, we had love inside. Oh yeah, so now the time has come for both of us to live on the run, and knowing that you would have wanted it this way, I do believe I'm feeling stronger every day. So it's that whole adage, you can look at the glass half empty, like, oh man, It's not as good as it used to be, or half full. Like, hey, we had a great run, great memories and times together, and I'm still feeling stronger every single day. I was also impressed too with especially in the outro, that drumming.
Yeah, it was really good, and that's something we haven't heard highlighted yet in these in the first two tracks.
Well, now we're going to get to a little two-parter here. From Chicago 5, so going back,
1 year, 1972.
This was on Saturday on the Park, was in it. We got Dialogue, Part 1 and Part 2, written by Lamb. On the album, the song is over 7 minutes long and divided into 2 parts. Again, pretty solid success, 24 in the United States. And in Part 1, the song's lyrics are a dialogue between 2 young people with different views. The first person, whose lines are sung by Terry Kath, is very concerned about the events of the early 70s, such as the Vietnam War, starvation, and, quote, repression closing in around. Then we have the second person, who we have Peter Cetera going in, maintains that everything is fine. The dialogue between the 2 people is also reflected musically, with the Kath's guitar and Cetera's bass feeding off each other. Part 1 comes to a close. Kath's character thanks the other character for the talk, saying, quote, you really eased my mind. I was troubled by the shapes of things to come. And then Cetera's character is also notes, well, if you had my outlook, your feelings would be numb. You'd always think that everything was fine.
And with the 2 characters acknowledging the other's position, it moves to Part 2, where more positive lyrics such as we can make it better, we can change the world now, and we can save the children are sung by the whole band. Ooh. In the finale, the music fades away with the band singing a cappella, the optimistic appeal, we can make it happen. Boy, I'll tell you what, I've never heard this after all that build-up. I'm really excited to hear with this thing.
Me too, especially with our world here in 2020.
I was going to say everything you read there and I read there. I thought that applies right now.
Let's get this one going. Dialogue parts 1 and 2. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was really good. I thought they did a good job of just including. It's a whole band effort, man. It's a grand effort that I would imagine live really played well.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone's involved. Not that they're not on the instrumentation on the other songs we've heard, but this one is just everybody is in it together, sending a very positive message, obviously.
Yeah, and I think that is a good point about the whole group getting involved, because it starts off, of course, the instrumentation's kind of taking a backseat to, of course, the dialogue.
Right, which was smart. They knew when to, this is the most important dialogue we've heard so far in the songs that we've experienced.
And again, showing that... showing the 2 sides to everything like we had on the last song. We have that here. We got a guy who really doesn't ever think about things too much, like the world at hand, and then another guy who's really worried about, of course, the war and the thing at hand. Then the guy who's not too worried just says, well, I figure, well, I hope the president knows what he's into. I don't know. Just kind of just an interesting concept, I think, to put that together there, and talking about hunger and just these really strong issues.
Right.
And then we transition into the second part of the song, which really is just a great jam session.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Yeah,
with these lyrics that are a bit anthemic. We can make it better. We can change the world right now. We can save the children. We can make it happen. You just get a little bit fired up listening to it and a little bit inspired. And I'll tell you what, that lead guitar was we mentioned it in the review, great use of I believe the wah-wah pedals. Yes. Quite psychedelic.
Yeah, it really was.
In that and it was just kind of buried under the mix a little bit with the horns, and I just thought it did an amazing job blending a little bit of everything together and probably showcasing out some of the best of Chicago.
Yeah, true musicianship showcased on this one.
No, man, you don't hear a track like this today. And then again, they faded it out at the end to just like the "We Can Make It Happen" lyrics just be very prominent. And so that one, I would be surprised if that gets knocked out of my top 3 tracks that we say at the end. And
well, you got 6 left, so you never know. Number 6, does anybody really know what time it is? We're going to go way back from Chicago Transit Authority in 1969. Written and sung by Lamb. First song recorded for their debut album, so I thought that was an interesting tidbit. It was not released as a single until 2 tracks from the band's second album, Make Me Smile and 25 or 6 to 4, had become hits. It became the band's 3rd straight top 10 single, number 7 in the U.S., 2 in Canada, and that's what they used to do back then. Oh, this became a hit. Well, let's rewind back to this first album that didn't make it.
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and
people weren't aware of.
We'll release these again, the best of these songs. And Lamb said it's not a complicated song, but it's certainly a quirky song. But that was my intent. I wanted to write something that wasn't ordinary, that wasn't blues-based, that didn't have ice cream changes, and would allow the horns to shine and give Lee Lofgren, I might have said that wrong, a solo. So all that was the intent. So, Trey, if those horns are shining out here, I have a feeling you're going to like this one.
Oh, definitely. Wow, definitely the most jazz-influenced track by far.
Way early on. So if you listen to it, you think, and maybe a lot of their albums have this, but not what we've heard is the piano.
No, this was really the Lamb song, because not only was he doing that awesome piano, but he was on lead. So.
Yeah, I thought it very differentiated among all the things that you're going to hear. The background stuff, and that where they're talking over was an interesting touch as well.
That was cool. Yeah, almost it was not a call and response, but it was like, two vocals going on at the same time in the chorus. Like, guy saying, "I don't care about time." Oh no, no, no. But it's interspersed with Lamb's vocal. So and I also enjoyed we had the saxophone in there again, pointing to the jazz influence on here, a little everything in the kitchen sink going in here, and so I just thought it had a very smooth sound, and you still had those signature horns coming in there, but it was a little bit different. And I can see this is the second track off of that debut record after the introduction, which I don't know if that's even a proper song. So this is somebody's intro to the group at the time.
Exactly.
I think they put a good foot forward there. So I dug that one quite a bit. And now we're going to stay on this record and actually go to the song that comes directly after it with Beginning. So that's kind of cool here. It was written and sung by Lamb, second single, but initially failed to chart. And then just kind of like we were mentioning on the last one, after their subsequent successful singles, it was re-released in June of 1971. Backed with Color My World, both sides became U.S. radio hits, and the combined single climbed to number 7.
Did a lot of that back in the day too, combining things.
So again, showcasing their chart success. This one's about 8 minutes long, so I'm be curious to see what they got in store for us here. It's coming in from the debut record. Again, very jazz fusion-esque with the saxophone and trumpet really getting some time to shine in here, and whatever instrument that we had at the end.
Yeah, very world music feeling. I think on this song, which I think a lot of the earlier stuff that I've heard, I haven't heard much of it, but it's more about the instrumentation and less about the lyrics, just because there's so many of them and there's so many diverse instruments that it's about, look, man, here's the thing, we are musicians, so I think this song was kind of the epitome of that.
Oh, definitely, and I found it interesting too. He's talking about being with this girl. We're assuming, and he notes time passes much too quickly when we're together laughing, which segued nicely from that past song. Well, we're asking about does anybody really know what time it is? So I found that a cool little connection between the two. And then even so, some decent lyrics here. When I kiss you, I feel 1,000 different feelings, the color of chills all over my body. And when I feel them, I quickly try to decide which one I should try to put into words. But yeah, for an 8-minute song, not a lot of lyrics actually
at
all. This is one that I kind of respect more than I would revisit. I guess
me too.
I would say
same thing for me. But I respect just the ability here is quite impressive.
No, definitely, and they still off their debut record, man.
I know,
showing those musical chops, and now that's going to take us to number 4, a song we just mentioned a little earlier from Chicago 2 in 1970, "Color My World," written by Pankow, part of his Ballet for a Girl and Buchanan song cycle. You have Kath singing lead vocal. You have Walter Parazater, who was actually on this record playing the last 2 songs we did. He he does a memorable flute solo. Went to number 7 with Beginnings.
Right.
Frank Sinatra wanted to record a version of the tune on the condition that another additional verse would be written, but Pankow was like, "Nah, man, I'm sorry."
He
Blue
declined.
Eyes.
Oh, Blue Eyes! Wow. All right, I respect it, man.
Oh, so yeah, let's see what we got for this one.
Let's do it.
Color My World, part of that ballet for a Girl in Buchanan suite, which I see the whole suite's about 13 minutes. So I'll be curious to listen to that someday and see how
it fits.
Because I think this is part 5 of it.
Yeah, and so in that, it's just a verse, man.
Yeah, pretty much. And the one, this was probably the most beautiful song we've heard.
I agree.
On the list so far. It was just very pretty. I think a lot of that has to go with the flute solo that we had in there. Again, very impressive piano at the start. And again, very heartfelt lyricism. The lyrics, though they were short and sweet, they definitely packed a punch with the words that they had in there. Now that you're near, promise your love that I've waited to share. In dreams of our moments together, color my worlds with hope of loving you.
No pressure.
I was about to say, man.
No pressure.
I know this was a decent hit. Were you familiar with any
of
it?
No.
Yeah, so... but yeah, man, again, just showcases, I think, their ability to go those different styles.
Yeah, especially on this album. I think that was what they were going for, to really showcase maybe what differentiated them at the time a little bit.
Definitely, and now we're going to take it back to that debut record with questions 67 and 68, again written by Lamb. It seems he was more the driving force of the group back then. Their first single, lead vocals shared by Lamb and Satira, went to 71 on the initial release. Of course, re-release went up to 24. The questions in this track relate to the nature of a romantic relationship Lamb had during 67 and 68.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And in 2008, he said, "It's about a girl I knew during those years with a hint of acid imagery and very Beatles influence." Ooh. The lyrics include the title phrase only as the last words.
Yeah, and with respect to the horn arrangement, Pankow said in a 2000 interview, "In the old days, I used to write horns very harmonically. Question 67 and 68 is probably a very good example of how I used to approach horns. I had no rest. We played from the first bar of the song, which is not very musical anymore. We got away with that then." So that's a good build up to see what this thing sounds like.
Yeah, with some Beatles influence and some horns.
They got me interested.
Tailor made for me. All right.
That was weird silence like the last 17 seconds. I was wondering too if they were going to pop something in there.
Yeah, that's why I kept it going. I was like, "Are we going to have them?" I definitely kind of has that signature Chicago sound that
for sure.
They would continue to expand on in the further records in later times that we've heard. Man, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I mean, it's early Chicago. The horns, it's good to read that at the beginning because you really could notice that.
They definitely have that harmony, and they're just very pleasant on the ears. The very bombastic, especially my favorite part of the song was that instrumental solo about 3 minutes in or before verse 3 or whatever. I just thought it was fantastic. The drum fills in here as well were very impressive.
I agree. I like the chorus where I'd like to know, can you tell me? Please don't tell me. It really doesn't matter anyhow. So that was pretty cool.
And it seems a lot of their lyricism revolves around relationships and just kind of that pull in there, and it just shows through the pain of your personal relationships. You can come through and write something that a lot of people relate to.
Exactly.
So Robert, pretty solid songwriter in his own right here. And then I like the technique of just saying question 67 and 68, the title of his track, just at the very end.
Cool,
so
cool.
Interesting stuff. And now we're going to the only song I know on this, one of Chicago's most famous tunes, 25 or 64, from that second record. Again, written by Lamb. We have Satira on the lead vocals. A single went to 4 in the U.S., 7 in the U.K.
Yeah, and according to Lamb, the song's about trying to write a song in the middle of the night. The song's title is the time at which the song is set, 25 or 26 minutes before 4 a.m. So I always wondered what that was. It's obviously exactly like it sounds. Because of the unique phrasing of the song's title, 25 or 6 to 4, it has been interpreted to mean everything from a quantity of illicit drugs to the name of a famous person in code. In a 2013 interview, Lamb said he composed 25 or 6 to 4 on a 12-string guitar with only 10 strings.
Oh.
It was missing the 2 low E strings, and then he wrote the lyrics in one day. They first rehearsed the song at the Whiskey A Go Go, the famous.
Cool. Cool stuff. I mean, I really dig this track, so
I do as well.
Let's revisit it and enjoy it. I mean, just what a classic tune, man, and obviously Rich thinks highly of it, and I think for many Chicago fans, a top 10 Chicago list would be incomplete without this tune.
Yeah, one of the quintessential of early Chicago for sure.
And man, I love everything about it because I think it showcases all the members' talents. It was written by Robert, sung by Peter. You have Terry's one of his best guitar solos, I think, or guitar sections we've heard on this top 10 list is in this song here. And then you have a wonderful horn section. And Lamb even said himself, the song is about writing a song, but I kind of like it because if you want to go into a little more sinister drug type of interpretation,
yeah, you could do that as well for sure.
Definitely. So yeah, man, you dug it.
Yeah, man, I dug it. I mean, I'm familiar with it. And I agree. I'll just echo what you said. It's the quintessential early Chicago song for me. Not that I'm an authority on Rich's, but it obviously is for Rich too, right up there because it's number 2 on this list.
And it just that riff and that bass underneath, you just kind of get ready, like, okay, I'm ready to run through a wall. Well, now, Dad, we're to number 1. What do we got?
We got Make Me Smile. And on this one, it's written by Pankow with Kath on lead vocals. Part 1 of Pankow's 7-part Ballet for a Girl in Buchanan song, Cycle Suite, 9 in the U.S. It's their first top 10 hit, so that's always special. Several changes were made in order to make the song more suitable for radio. That we always saw this back in this time period. This included a modified introduction, abbreviated guitar solo. Finally, the track, Now More Than Ever, was appended on the end to make a complete 3-verse song. So, don't mess with stuff, man. Leave it like the artist wanted it. When Chicago released their compilation album, The Very Best of Chicago, Only the Beginning, in 2002, they featured a new edit of the song with the Make Me Smile and Now More Than Ever parts segued together again, but without the numerous cuts. The full intro and the guitar solo of the former part and the full outro of the latter part were thus included, and that is the version we have here, because that's the version that Rich picked for his number 1 from The Very Best of Chicago, Only in the Beginning.
Well, reading how it kind of came about and the cuts and whatnot, I'm glad he chose this one. It seems like this is going to be.
He chose the most complete version.
So coming in number 1. Let's see what we got after this, y'all. We'll get to our favorite tracks. What a fitting way to end off our list. That kind of with that just drum roll.
Yeah, I thought that was nice too. That was a very good touch. It sounds like one song, so they did a very good job of segueing. I'm like,
I was gonna say the same thing. Just man, all the great elements of Chicago, I think, are packed into this nice 4.5 minute tune. Terry Kath again coming in with just a wonderful solo there. I was very impressed by him these past few songs. Drum fills again very impressive, and the horn section just so pretty on the ears in there. Got some harmonies up in the chorus. Just and again, we mentioned the positivity of Chicago earlier. Yeah. I'm so happy that you love me. Life is lovely when you're near me. Just some tunes that
some uplifting music, man,
and some stuff that's a bit timeless as well, because the lyrics, I mean, these will be able to apply to people 100 years from now just with their content, because people will feel alone in the dark, but then they'll see somebody's smiling face and then start to enjoy that and feel the magic when they hold people. And man, just I think everything Chicago's good at was wrapped up into a nice package on this number 1 tune. So,
yeah, I agree. I think on the top 2, that's definitely true. And I think you hit on something there, the timelessness of the music, because it's so much different instrumentation and musicianship that it's timeless. It's not going to be, it's not dated. It's not set in somewhere. It just, you can spin it and it works whenever.
I can't really think of another group that sounds like Chicago. You got groups that, pull really heavy into the horns, but they don't bring as much as the rock as Chicago does.
A unique way of fusing it all together.
And then so with your jazz, with the rock and roll, just putting it all into a nice little bow in here, and even bringing in the flute here and there as well. So that'll take us now to our favorite tracks. For me, I gotta go 25 or 6 to 4.
I'm with you on that one.
Dialogue.
I'm with you on that one.
And then, man, "Make Me Smile" is coming in real nice here. I might go with that, with "Old Days" being a real close number 4.
It's funny, I'm inverse of you. I have "Old Days."
Yeah,
It's the last one on here. "Make Me Smile" would have been my 4th. So it's funny we had the same. All the songs were nice, and appreciated them all for what they were.
Yeah.
You know, as far as just the awesome musicianship that showcased. Really appreciate you bringing this to us, Rich.
Oh, definitely, man.
You know, a music icon that neither one of us know a whole lot about. So
No,
it's a fun one.
It is always fun to discover these groups, especially too. I mean, when you hit those 100 million, what is that? Is that, I don't even know how many digits. Is that 9 digits? When you hit 9 digits in album sales, man, you know you were doing something right.
Exactly.
And had quite the impact on people. And you know that they're a group that I think somebody, or you know, any fan of music will be able to find at least something they enjoy, whether it be the guitar solo, the horn section, the pretty vocals, whatever the case may be. So let us know down below, y'all, your top 10 Chicago tracks. Give Rich some love in the comments as well for bringing this to us, man. As always, I appreciate the research.
That was a lot of fun, man.
And until next time, thanks for watching, happy listening, and we will see you.